Hey everybody, welcome. This is Timmy coming live for my first time ever for my chalk night. I'm so excited that you decided to join me, and welcome. As we're just waiting for people to get in, I'm just going to get myself set up here. And if you're watching this on replay, it's so nice to have you. Please feel free to add in your comments and request to join my VIP group if you'd like to get some more information about my upcoming lives or even some special bundle packages that I have going on. And I just want to make sure that I'm going to be able to watch this as well as do it. So it will give me a minute here to log into my page and hopefully we can catch up together. Let's see. Again, this is Timmy with Chalkboard, and I'm really excited to come to you live today to help show you a little bit about what Chalkboard can do to help you to create some beautiful home decor items that you're going to be excited to be able to put in your home or even give as gifts. So I see Candy is here. Welcome, Candy. You want to say hi and send a little note? That would be great. Great to have you. I'm looking for my live here on my feed, and it's not coming in yet, so we want to give it a sec here. Make sure I can see any comments that our viewers are giving today. All right, I guess I'm hiding. But Candy found me, so I guess that's a good thing. Hey Candy, nice to see you. All right, let's see. I should be seeing myself live here. Oh, all right, there we go. So now I can definitely comment and say hello as you are talking with me. So again, this is Timmy, and tonight I'm going to be doing my first ever Chalk Night Live. I hope to actually do these every week or so with a new tip or idea that I can share with you about how you can use Chalkboard products to really just have a lot of fun and really wow your friends about how you can make some beautiful home decor items even if you didn't feel crafty at all. So tonight we are going to be doing our Liberty Transfer, and our Liberty Transfer is the transfer of the month. Every month Chalkboard comes out with a brand new design, and our Liberty is today's design. And what a finished Liberty design looks like is this one right here, and this is what we're going to be working on. And you can see it's a map of the United States with the words of the Pledge of Allegiance here: one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I'm really excited to be able to do this together with you. I have actually put this transfer on many different surfaces, so that's one of the things that you're going to learn a little bit about with Chalkboard, is that our silk screen transfers are really awesome because they can be used over and over again and on lots of different surfaces. So we're going to be working on our Aiden chalkboard surface tonight, and I'm going to flip this down here so that you can see what I'm working on. There we go. This is our Aiden chalkboard. It's a 9x12 chalkboard, beautifully framed, as you can see, with nice distressed outer frame. And we've got this beautiful magnetic surface, which is really great. So you can not only chalk on it, but you can also stick some magnets or pictures on here. So one of the things that really got me excited about Chalkboard when I first learned about it a few months ago was the designer I was speaking to talked about how she held these classes where she would offer this chalkboard and the transfer of the month and the chalk paste, and she'd have a class, and together they would design the chalk transfer of the month. And the next month they'd come back together and they'd erase their board and they'd put on a brand new transfer for the month, and they'd be able to change up their design and have fun playing with the new transfers that came out. So I thought that was a really cool way to think about it. I sometimes get bored with some of the transfers or some of the design stuff for decor that I have in my house, and so I like to change it up. So that concept sounded really great, and having a nice high quality chalkboard like this gave me an opportunity to do that. So today, hopefully, I'm introducing you to a new way of designing, and it'll give you some confidence to try it out for yourself and check it out and see if you like it. Now, Chalk Couture offers so many transfers that sometimes the hard part is deciding what it is that you want to chalk, which design and on what. I know Candy and I had that conversation a little bit earlier today in terms of even what colors to use for our Liberty transfer. So today we are going to be using 3 colors in our chalkboard design. Gail, nice to see you. Thanks for joining. We have our white chalk paste. Course. These are 3-ounce chalk paste containers. They are $12.99. We also are using our red. So of course we're doing the patriotic theme, so we have to have blue. And I'm using the azure today, and this is kind of our bright blue. We do have a navy as well, but for the dark surfaces, I really like this azure. It really pops. So we're going to use those 3. The only other tool that we really need besides our transfer, and I'll get to that in a sec, is the squeegee. This is our small squeegee. We're going to use the full-size squeegee tonight, but I also find it's really beneficial to have a squeegee for each chalk paste color you're using. So I actually have cut one of our full squeegees in half, and the reason for that is when I'm doing a little bit more detailed work, I sometimes like to have a little bit more control in the smaller squeegees work. So you can cut them in half, or you can even cut them in thirds. So if you really need to get into the little details, like when we use our star, for instance, you'll see this will come in handy. So those are the tools that we have. The last tool, of course, we need is our transfer. Now, when you get a transfer from Chalk Couture, it actually comes in a little package like this. This is not the one that we're going to be using tonight, but the one we're using tonight I've already opened, and so I wanted to be able to just show you quick what to expect when you get a transfer from us. So it is a silkscreen transfer. I mentioned it was reusable. It's adhesive, and when you open up the package here, by the way, there's a nice little handy how-to guide on the back of your transfer. There is a backer. So basically what you do is you peel off, and I have no nails, so I'm always really bad at this. You just peel off your transfer from your backer. And the reason why you do that is that obviously you want the chalk to go into the negative space. So that's what we're going to put the transfer right down on our chalkboard. But you also want to save this backer because it's going to be a great storage tool for your other, when you want to reuse it. So one quick tip that some of our designers share with customers that you might find useful is if you just put a mark on the back of the opposite side of the transfer, you'll know which side your transfer is supposed to go back on. If you don't mark it, just remember it's the shiny side that you want to put the transfer back on. So that is the transfer, but as I said, we are going to be using the Liberty transfer today, and I cheated a little. All right, maybe not quite cheated, but I have found that I have gotten so many transfers that it was really hard to keep track of them all, so I actually got an artist book, and in my artist book is all of my transfers, and they have these great black pages here that I can just stick my transfers on. So I have already cut up the transfer that we're going to use for today, and I have got it sitting here on a mat. And the reason why I have it sitting here on a fuzzy mat is because actually what you want to do is make sure that before you begin using your new transfer that you fuzz it. I know that sounds really weird. What is fuzzing? Well, fuzzing really is a way for you to make sure that all that extra stickiness kind of gets toned down a bit so that it's going to be easier for you to pull this up after you've put your chalk paste on. So we just tell you to fuzz your transfer once or twice before you use it, and you know, one of these cloths is a good thing to do. This Liberty transfer, by the way, it does come in 4 pieces, so I cut it up along the lines, and now I'm going to work on it piece by piece. So the first piece that we're going to work with is the main USA map. And as I am putting the transfer down, notice that I am just making sure that I am smoothing out any bubbles or any excess air because if we leave any air on, then we're going to get a little bubble in our chalk paste, and we don't want that. So I sometimes will use my squeegee here too, just to give it a little brush over and make sure I'm getting all of those air bubbles out. All right, so that looks pretty good. Now remember this, it is adhesive, so if for some reason you put it down and it isn't quite where you wanted it to be, you can easily move it around. And of course, I think I do have a little bit of a angle on there that I want to fix. So we're just going to put that right back down and just smooth it out one more time and make sure this is all set to go. So I am very excited about this Liberty transfer because when I first started the Chalk Tour a few months ago, I was really saddened by the fact, and Candy would understand this, that we didn't have anything patriotic. As a proud Army mom, as is Candy, I really wanted something that just would help me remind myself of the sacrifice that all our servicemen and women are giving to our country. And so I was very excited this summer when we introduced the Celebrations mini catalog for the summer that there were several patriotic designs, including this one. So I'm just working over here to open up my chalk paste. Now I am going to use our white chalk paste to fill in our map. And you just want to, when you get your chalk paste, just give it a good stir. If once you open your chalk paste and you think it feels a little too thick, certainly it's absolutely fine to give it a little squirt of water. I always keep a handy squirt bottle here so you can just squirt in a spritz or two and then just give it a good stir. And these little stirrers, by the way, are just little makeup spatulas. They're really a nifty little tool. It makes things a little bit easier. But you can just stick your squeegee right into and start to work. I usually like to put a few dabs of paste right onto the surface where I'm going to chalk. And put this aside. And as I said, I'm going to use our large squeegee here to basically just take this chalk paste and spread it out along our design. So you can see that with this big squeegee, I'm getting a lot of surface area covered pretty quickly. And quickly is a key word to think about here when you're using our chalk paste because it does dry. It dries pretty quickly, as a matter of fact, and you want to make sure that you work fairly quickly so that it doesn't dry on the transfer before you have a chance to lift it up. If it does, then you're going to kind of get a splotchy effect, and you don't want that. So there we go. We want to just add our chalk paste, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over the area one more time and just squeegee off the extra. So kind of drag my squeegee right along the surface here and make sure I got every area. Looks like I'm missing the tip there of Texas, which is where my son is stationed, so I guess I better remember that, Texas corner. Once you have done that, then you're ready to just go ahead and pull up your transfer in one big fell swoop. That's it. So once you've pulled up your transfer, then you want to just add this into a water bath or run it over to the sink and rinse it off. But while we're doing this live, it's just easier for me to go ahead and add it to the little water bath that I have sitting here by my side. So that will just make sure that the chalk paste doesn't dry on your transfer. And once you're done with your project, then you can go and rinse it off thoroughly. And of course, make sure that it's all set and put back on your backer if you've used your backer. So guys, what do you think so far? We've got our map here all set and nice detail with that white. The white of our map is really looking nice with the white frame here. What other colors do you think you guys would consider using? Would you use something different? I know when I was talking with Candy a little bit earlier today, we were talking a little bit about the different ways in which we could use this. I actually did a shadow box as one of the first projects I did with this design. So you can see it's a little bit different. I've got some patriotic balls in here that I found. and some scrapbooking paper there in the back. And instead of having it all one color, I actually did some lines. I'm looking at it today and I'm laughing because I think it looks more like the French flag than the United States. Maybe I should have gone this way. I don't know, what do you guys think? And the other thing that you'll see is one of my favorite projects. I can give you a little scoot over here while we give this chance to dry, is my milk can. This was actually created also utilizing the Liberty Transfer. And this is a milk can that I found actually at an old flea market that I scraped down and refinished with some white chalk paint. And then I put on the Liberty Transfer in red. So I did like the red too. So I know Candy and I were talking about that earlier today. What do you think? You think the red's a good one? One of the cool things that I'm excited about is that we are getting ready to have the first ever Chalk Couture conference. It's coming up in Salt Lake City in just a few weeks now. And one of the things that we get to do is actually enter an art contest. And there are 3 categories, and the category that I chose to enter was on found items. Thanks, Candy. And that milk can was my found item from the flea market that I entered into the art contest. So keep your fingers crossed for me and I'll let you know how it goes. I am excited about the convention. 1, that it's the first ever Chalk Couture convention, but 2, because I'm really excited to kind of meet other people and get a sense about how it is that they're running their Chalk Couture businesses. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of flexibility. When I first joined, I thought it'd just be fun to do a hobby, and it is absolutely fun as a hobby, but I've learned it can really be a whole lot more and can give me a little sense of ownership and independence of having my own business, which is really fun. So, you never know. And of course, I have a full-time job, which I love a lot too. So, this is really great. Okay, so I was talking a little bit here because I'm killing a little time because I needed this to dry a little bit, because the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put on our sunbeams, I like to call them here. And these are part of the transfer. It looks like this. And there's 2 of them, one for the top and one for the bottom. The way you can tell which goes on the top and which goes on the bottom is, if you'll notice, these sunbeams have a little dip here for Texas. So we're going to wrap our transfer right around the tip of Texas. And again, we're just going to smooth this down. So what do you think? Should we make our rays red or blue? I've done them in a couple of different ways, so I'll take a vote. Gail, Candy, what do you think? Red or blue? I know Candy said she likes the red, so maybe we'll do red. And then we'll do our stars as blue. All right, Candy said red, so red it is. We want this to dry a tad bit, as I mentioned, because our Texas is under here, and if it were still a little wet, then we would pull up some of that white paste from Texas. So we want to keep Texas whole. And we're just going to spread out the chalk paste here. And this one, as you can see, I put a little more on than the other, so I have a little more to scrape off and put back into my jar. Why do you want to put it back in your jar? Well, it just makes your chalk paste last a whole lot longer. You need very little, really, to put on your transfer. So we might as well make the most of all the chalk paste we have. I'm going to put that aside. And voila, we have put on our bottom piece. You probably can't see that too well, given the lighting here. I'm just going to put this in my water bath over here and lift that up so you can get a little better view of that red. There you go. All right, and then we are going to do the same thing with the top. And we have another piece of our transfer that has that. And this one, again, it kind of has a little rounded part at the top, and so that's going to kind of go over here and not quite as far as Maine. And really, you can place these wherever you like, but that just gives you a little bit of guideline in case you are playing with this on your own and wondered where that would best fit. So again, just going to put a little bit of chalk paste on there with my makeup spatula, and we're going to give this a little bit of squeegeeing. Notice that my transfer did go up to the edge of the frame, not a problem. I just wrapped it around there. Now, one of the things I have to say I really like about using this stuff is it makes you really feel like you are a professional crafter. I am not by any means. I have tried lots of different crafting activities over the years, scrapbooking and basket making and a whole slew of other things. None of them ever really stuck. This one I just find to be super fun and relaxing, and it was one of the reasons why I really took to it so quickly and enjoying it so much. All right, so we've got that second topper on. And Candy's asking if we can overlay and do red, white, and blue sun rays. You could probably overlay, or you could use your smaller squeegee and do individual ones. That's certainly possible. I haven't tried that, Candy, but I think that sounds like it would work. That would be really cool. Maybe every other. It would take a little bit of time, and you'd want to make sure you move pretty quickly. That would be the big thing, because as you know, the chalk does dry pretty quickly. So I find when I'm working on something that has a little more detail work that I will put a little bit more chalk paste on than I normally do and let it sit there a little bit longer until I squeegee it off. So if I have some extra time to kind of get through that, it'll stay damp enough. Some other people have said that what they have found useful when they're doing that kind of work and they need a little longer drying time is that they will use some baby wipes. They'll put baby wipes on top. So if you're working with a really big transfer, and we actually came out with a Star-Spangled Banner transfer that is quite large. I don't have it in my room here with me. It's actually downstairs, but it's 18 by 24, I think. It's really huge. And that was either something I should have cut up or use some kind of process to make sure that as I'm going down, I cover it and pull it up and work that way, because it was really large. So those are things to keep in mind. Okay, the last thing that we have is this little cute star, and this star can go anywhere you want it to go. You absolutely can put a star anywhere on the area that you've already worked, as long as it's dry. This is just about dry. I can see here a little bit. By the way, if you're impatient and you want to dry things quickly, you can use a blow dryer, or if you have a heat gun, if you're a scrapper, you might have a heat gun for embossing. You can definitely use that. That makes things really quick as well. But we're going to just place a few stars here and there. I'm going to do them in blue. So this is that azure blue I was telling you about, one of my favorite colors. My friend Susan Stanky, another fellow friend who has gotten the bug here with Chalk Couture, introduced me to this color in one of the first design classes she came to with me, and ever since she showed it to me, I have fallen in love. So I find I use it in a lot of different projects in a lot of different ways, not just my patriotic. Now notice that when it's a small design like this, you can just reuse it over and over again. You don't have to clean it in between. If it's a larger transfer, you will find that you will need to do that. But these little ones, easy peasy. So, I don't know, 4 stars I think is probably pretty good. So I think that, let me give you hit a little blue. There we go. And our